My name is Tyrone Parker. I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance of Concerned Men. And the greatest question that I have is, why should it take 100 years for the record to reflect the great work and the transformation of people that Bob Woodson have done? His work has been profound. The people that he has touched and changed have made a major difference in regards to the quality of life in public housing in the District of Columbia. Support Bob Woodson. His heart is as big as his house. And his house, as he said, was almost mortgaged because of his love for people. He brought strangers into his house because he loved them, and he knew that it was not a period, it was a comma in the contents of their lives. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bill Knox. I was the Chief of Staff of the D.C. Housing Authority. For the 5 years we had the intervention with the young men and young women. Housing Authority funded a construction program where 80 young men and 30 young women worked in vacant unit rehab, landscaping. Bob was the instrument of change for all of these young people. Some of them are here tonight who have graduated. We've been together now for 20 some odd years. We still keep our ties with the young people, and Bob and I have been together doing this work with the Housing Authority in other neighborhoods, and it's a pleasure to work with him.
Hi, my name is Wayne Lee. Concerned brothers and sisters of Beneters. Mr. Woodson has impacted my life in so many ways that I'll be standing in front of your camera all day. Congratulations, Bob. You really do deserve this. Thank you. I'm Darius Robinson. I'm associated with the Alliance of Concerned Men in the Woodson Center. I met Bob when I was 17 years old. I was out on the street, didn't have no direction, nowhere to go. Now I'm 38 years old. My son on his way to Clemson University. I'm the owner and operator of DMR Solutions, where it's though that we go into communities and help them out and find better ways for them. And just basically thanks Bob for everything that you've done and all the support that you have helped us with and helped me with personally. And may God bless you.
Thank y'all, man. Today was a tremendously good evening. Thanks to Bob Woodson. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. But to make a long story short, the Woodson Center impacted a lot of lives here in the district. They also helped out what we've been doing over in Benton in the community. They stuck behind us, gave us the foundation of how to work with youth. You know, we've been working with youth, keeping down the violence. Bob is a tremendous man. Mr. Woodson, I call him Bob, but Mr. Woodson, he's like a father to me and a lot of my friends. I can't even explain, man. I wish it was a million more Bobs out here in this world, and it'd be less tragical, more at ease in life. A lot of people would be happier. Everybody wouldn't be so sad. Thank you, Mr. Woodson. Terrence, Woodson Center. Thank y'all.
I'm Thomas Ross, better known as Derrick Ross from Beneters, better known as Simple City. Bob, you meant so much to me. You brought a sense of peace to me. You taught me how to express myself in a positive way without having to be physical. You also taught me how to love, whereas though in the beginning I only knew how to deal with things the best way I knew how. The National Center gave me a chance to explore, to learn different cultures, to learn how to deal with animosity, to learn how to deal with other neighborhoods. The National Center, which is now the Woodson Center, enabled me to grow as a person, as a family, as a man, to instill in my own kids what I want for them out of life. Bob, thank you. Keep up the good work.
I'm Kanesha Ross. I'm Derrick Ross' wife. Right? Thanks for the Woodson Center, Bob, for giving us an opportunity to change my life over 20 years ago. If it wasn't for for Mr. Woodson, I would have never met my husband. So we've been together now for 15 years, married, almost 20 years together. So it's been an awesome time. I've changed my life. You know, I grew up in public housing, but we've been doing such a great job thanks to the Woodson Center. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
This is the family, the fruit of the work that Mr. Woodson and the Woodson Center created.
If you would have been, I would say that already.
I'm just going to repeat it together.
Okay, go ahead.
Thanks again, Bob. Great teacher, great scholar, and all around good person. Thank you again.
Love you.
I want to say it's a wonderful tribute to Mr. Woodson receiving the prestigious Wilberforce Award, and the young people that are represented here are the embodiment of everything that Mr. Woodson has put forth in his life. Thank you.
My name is Charles Perry, and I became acquainted with Mr. Woodson in 1994 after I retired from the military after 20 years of service. And I was looking for a place to land, and I wanted to go somewhere that would align with my value system. And I ran into Mr. Woodson at a What Works in Y workshop on Wisconsin Avenue at the Holiday Inn, and I really became transformed just listening to that man. And so I inquired about employment, and while I didn't get a job at the center, I did become a consultant at the center. And I have been a consultant with the Woodson Center since 1994. More recently, in 2016, I became an employee. And so, as quiet as it may be kept, Mr. Woodson has definitely been my mentor over those 24 years, and he has shaped me to be the type of person I am, caring for the community, looking for solutions within the community, and looking for market-based approaches to solving their problems. And most importantly, keeping faith as our core value system that motivates us to do our work on a daily basis. So congratulations, Mr. Woodson, for a job well done. And thank you so much for allowing me to sit at your feet.